Ukrainians are conducting counterattacks in several directions to prevent the blocking of Pokrovsk and Myrnohrad and to secure the roads leading to the towns. The Russian command is responding by reallocating and throwing more forces forward, losing hundreds each day, as the officers have again overpromised the political leadership that the towns are about to fall. The fiercest fighting continues around Rodynska, where Ukrainian assault and air assault units are working to widen the bottleneck and keep supply routes open for ammunition, reinforcements, and medical evacuation. Russian infiltration groups have been attempting to slip into Rodinska daily, forcing constant combat both inside the settlement and across the surrounding fields. Despite multiple Russian claims of having taken the town, drone footage from Russian sources themselves disproves these by showing heavy shelling and smoke rising over Ukrainian-held positions. The Ukrainians remain in control of Rodinska, countering assaults with devastating precision drone strikes. Behind Russian lines, Ukrainian Special Operations Forces have been conducting sabotage and reconnaissance missions to disrupt logistics and command networks. One such operation saw Ukrainian operators infiltrate the enemy's rear, eliminate 3 Russian soldiers, and seize valuable communications equipment, documents, and navigation systems. This intelligence immediately strengthened situational awareness for the frontline units. The 7th Rapid Response Corps of the Ukrainian Air Assault Forces reported to have succeeded in reinforcing their sector with new personnel and equipment, while clearing operations continue across the north of Rodynske. Thanks to close coordination between units, they prevented the enemy from cutting the Pokrovsk-Rodynske road, eliminating dozens of Russian soldiers attempting to push north. Drone footage confirms at least 20 Russians in just several square meters destroyed by FPV drones while advancing through Ukrainian fortifications. Meanwhile, to the east, the Russians continue pressing through Novo Economichna, which remains a gray zone battlefield. Russian forces control only a handful of street blocks on the eastern edge of the settlement. Ukrainian paratroopers are fighting house to house, relying on close-quarters tactics to repel infiltrations. A geolocated video shows a Ukrainian soldier cautiously approaching a house sheltering Russian troops, before destroying them with an RPG-7 shot. Ukrainian reconnaissance teams, working in tandem with FPV drones, have developed a rhythm of hunting enemy convoys. Once a Russian vehicle is immobilized, whether by a mine or a drone strike, Ukrainian operators immediately target the dismounted infantry with drone-dropped munitions, ensuring they cannot entrench or establish new firing positions. Every attempt by the Russians to reach Myrnohrad ends the same way: destroyed vehicles, scattered troops, and another line of burnt wreckage marking their advance. These Ukrainian counterattacks are existential, as the Russians are concentrating the bulk of their manpower and resources on this sector, attempting to crush the defenders by sheer numbers. Both Ukrainian and Russian sources confirm that the Russian command has reduced the intensity of fighting in other directions, redeploying forces to focus entirely on the Pokrovsk-Myrnohrad axis. Ukrainian commanders describe how Russian assault groups probe Ukrainian defenses, searching for gaps to exploit, while sending waves of poorly trained conscripts ahead as bait to draw out Ukrainian drone and artillery fire. Once positions are revealed, trained Russian assault infantry follow in close combat. This pattern, repeated endlessly, leads to catastrophic Russian losses, but still keeps pressure on Ukrainian units. The 155th Russian Naval Infantry Brigade has reportedly been rendered combat ineffective again, after losing most of its personnel. Elements of the 108th Motorized Rifle Regiment and 68th Tank Regiment have been rushed in to maintain the pace of attacks, a desperate measure that highlights Russia's obsession with capturing Pokrovsk. Despite the enormous pressure, Ukraine's defense of Pokrovsk and Myrnohrad is holding. While the situation is not stabilized, each day hundreds of Russians die around them as more reinforcements arrive to be the slaughter. The Ukrainian command acknowledges the situation is difficult, while Russian generals celebrate imaginary advances and send exaggerated reports to Moscow. The battle for Pokrovsk is far from over, as Ukrainian defenders are turning the so-called encirclement into a graveyard for Russian armor and manpower.